A deal on Dickens, who could resist? A stack of Austen, warmly kissed. Golden Age crime tales twist and turn, every page a treasure to learn. Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea, reading always feels so free.
Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out. Just going to say in advance, it's not notably loud right now, but earlier we had some really loud either rain or hail or something like that. Super loud. I just heard some wind, but as far as I can tell, we're not headed for having more of that hail, rain, whatever that was. So, just a heads up, if you suddenly hear pounding, it might be hail. And this is a tag that my mom created, tag/challenge. It's more like a challenge. And I think she called it Hobbies on Your Bookshelf or Hobbies on Your Shelf. I'll name it correctly down below. So, anyway, I spent way too long searching for which hobby books on my shelf I was going to show. So this might be a bit of a long one. I'll try to go through pretty quickly some of them that I don't have as much to say about, so that way this won't be too long. So I'm going to start with the calligraphy one. I had another one I wanted to show, but I can't find my Michelle P. Brown book on it. And that was the one I was semi-actively reading. I put it aside for a while because I was focusing on a different Michelle P. Brown book that was the Beat in the Theory of Everything. And then I read a different Michelle P. Brown book after that. And a different one. I'm on the third one that I'm reading. I found out after the fact that I had actually started her calligraphy book when I'd already started on a tear of reading her other books. But I'm not sure where I put her calligraphy book, the one I was actually using, but here's a different one that I have. This is by Mark Drogan, Medieval Calligraphy, Its History and Technique. So it has the added benefit that I can learn some history as well as some technique, although it does seem heavy on the history versus, oh good, no, it does have at least some styles I would be able to copy. It's not quite as this is how you do it, the way Michelle's book is, which is a shame, although will probably make for more of a reading experience. It's not quite as focused. Oh no, here we go. It does do some of where you'll see arrows. It'll tell you what direction you need to be going with your pen. So, or your, fountain pen. Because I think that it's going to be most people aren't actually going to be using a quill pen. So, yeah, so it's a good mix. It's quite a bit more history, but it does have a little bit of how to. Yeah, see, here's another page of that. I mean, Michelle's definitely has history too. And actually, I want to say I like her section on the materials, but she has a lot more in the way of pictures and colored pictures. So this book is good. Her book seems to be better. And I can't remember the name of her book, otherwise I provided for you guys. I've done calligraphy, but I haven't done as much as I would like to lately because I had to bend over it a lot, and sometimes I end up getting a headache because of that, because I do such close work with it. So I haven't done as much as I would have liked. Now this one I'll be going through really quickly because I don't think I actually have any of my pastel work with me. I don't know what happened to my portfolio, and I don't really pastel anymore. But I did find a bunch of my pastel books. This really nice Pastel Artist Bible, and I know where my actual pastels are. So if I ever want to pick it up again, this would be the book to use. Just with some techniques, how to work with specific colors, that kind of thing, preparatory drawings. More of an encyclopedia of techniques. I'm throwing these on the floor because I don't feel like putting it back in the box. Okay. Another one with some more techniques, materials and techniques for today's artists. Oh, acrylics combined with pastels. That's interesting. Oil sticks. I do have some of the oil sticks as well. It almost doesn't feel quite like pasteling to use the oil ones. I tended to prefer the chalk, which is part of why I don't use them much anymore. I think this one actually feels like I might have gotten some pastel on it. So yeah, there's some pastel on this one. So this one, either my dad used before he gave it to me, or I used it while I was pasteling, or I had my pastels out. There's not a lot of pastel on it, just it has kind of a feeling, and there's some coloring on it. So one of us used this. So those are my pastel books. Like I said, I don't really pastel anymore. I went through a period in college and a bit afterward where I was doing a decent amount of pasteling. Unfortunately, I can't find my portfolio where I have that work. And the sketch pads I have with that work, with any pasteling down there, is not my best because it didn't make it to my portfolio that I had. No idea where it is. I figure it'll show up after this video when I no longer want it. Because that's how those things work. Probably show up with my Michelle P. Brown book that I couldn't find. Okay, so now this is the biggest section, is knitting and crocheting stuff. So this book, cast-ons and bind-offs, just how to start a project, how to finish a project, all these different kind of techniques, super useful. Nicely has a spiral so you can keep it open while you're doing it. Just a very useful book. The first knitting book I got, though, I actually think one of my very first knitting books I got. It's really simple. It has no photographs. It's drawings in it. Knit Speak. And I still reference this for some basics. If I want a reminder about how to do certain increases or decreases. If there's a term that I don't quite recognize, I'll go here first. For some reason, the way they explain things really work for my brain. The drawings really work in a way that the more fancy, colored kind of pictures and all that doesn't work quite as well. This book with this little black and white drawings, okay, well, black, white, and blue, because blue will show what your specific stitches you're working into. So with its little simple drawings, this book works best for my brain. So I always recommend this book for anyone who thinks they're going to be starting knitting and needs to learn some basic skills. Also kind of cool, and I'm pretty sure it does measure up. You have a little ruler on the back of the book. And I always forget about that. Next, and I do have some show and tell for these. So I think the first one is Whimsical Stitches. I think a friend gave this one to me. Or maybe I picked it up secondhand because it's kind of destroyed. Oh, you know what? No, this is the one. My aunt gave me this one, I want to say. There are so many cute things in here. I have this random fondness now for like these animals with faces. Not animals with faces. Obviously animals with faces. Vegetables and stuff with faces. Like food with faces. I don't know why I think they're so cute. Like this little egg collection. Where are the eggs? There. Those are macaroons there. Donuts. Yes, the duck is cute. And those turtles. But, like, I thought I saw an ice cream cone. No? I know, well, it must be it must have been an Etsy pattern that I have an ice cream cone. Because I could have sworn. Okay, I want to make the cacti. I want to make the cacti and then set it near my dad's plant stuff. So, I'm going to make one or both of those cacti because they are cute. Maybe the flower, but I think the cacti are cuter. So, the one I actually made, the turtle is actually really cute. The one thing I actually made in this was the donut. Oh, I did make the teacup. Okay, well, I left the mug in the other room. He holds my cabling / stitch fixing tools. So I stick them all in him. But I made the donuts. So I really enjoyed making the mug and the donuts. The mug's in the other room, but I do have my first donut here. Isn't he cute? Well, because I really enjoyed making him, and I must have gone on and on about how I enjoyed making the mug and my donut, because one of the amazing people who've watched my mom and my knitting crocheting podcast channel for years, because we've been doing it for over 12 years, and she's been with us forever. Well, she's occasionally sent me books in the past, and she sent me this one, Crochet Donut Buddies. I have made several of these, and do I have one on the go? I need to check all my projects. If I don't have one on the go, I do need to start one again at some point. At one point, I went crazy right before a really important birthday for my grandma, and within like 2 weeks of the birthday, I would decide that everyone needed to have a donut as a party favor, their own individual animal donut as a party favor. So I did that. I nearly drove myself insane doing it, but I did do it. If I had to, my mom already had one, I already had one, but no, I wanted to make everyone a donut. So everyone got a donut. My dad still has his. I was actually really surprised that he wanted one. They wanted to keep it. So he got a fox. My sister... Oh, I made her a cat or a dog. I can't remember which one I made her. And my grandpa had a pig. There's a family joke with that. Grandma apparently got a unicorn. I asked my sister that. I got a bunny, and my mom did get the owl that time, because I made her a bear prior to that. So I've got a couple of them, because I don't feel like getting up and showing Mom's owl. I do have... Oh, I forgot that I had made the Triceratops as well. I think the first one actually was either the bear or the Triceratops. So that's this from the pattern. I actually size up the eyes usually, because they call for really small eyes for these. And they do the black eyes, and I prefer the pretty colored eyes. I actually got for Davina's cat... I think I did make the cat, because I want to say I got the cat eyes for it. I'm pretty sure I made her the cat. I'm going to ask her now to see what hers was, because... Or maybe I did do the dog for her. I can't remember. Made the bunny. That was the simplest one that I did. This was definitely the last one I did. Although he did get sparkle eyes. Whatever. I really enjoyed making the snake. This guy sits on my desk where I can see him. Partially because he sits better than the other two, but he sits on my desk where I can see him, as does the mug from the previous book. But this is a great book. Honestly, I will make everything in this book at some point except the spider. No spiders. I don't do. No. The ladybug, and I think there is a ladybug. The ladybug's going to be lucky that I make that one, because I can't stand bugs. No. I think there's a ladybug. Honestly, I get this book if you just enjoy a little bit of crocheting. They mark the difficulty, the patterns with donuts. So like a moose is a 3 donut problem, or 3 donut pattern, versus, jellyfish, that's a 4 donut pattern. Whereas the bear is a 1 donut pattern. So, yeah. Well, I need to make this horse. Okay, I need to make all of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with, like, a whole book full of donuts. But they will all be made. Probably some of them multiple times. Because these are easy projects. They're, like, feel-good, quick projects. Need to move. They're going to be staring at me while I'm making this video. Okay. Well, the Triceratops and bunny might fall, but the snake will be fine. Oof. Stay. You will stay, right? Okay. This book I've had forever. Never made anything from it. I don't know if I will end up, just based off where I'm at in my life right now. But this is the Tudor Roses by Alice Strathmore. Oh, sorry, Starmore. Get her name right. Alice Starmore. This is an absolutely gorgeous book. I want to find... And all the designs are based off of different members of the Tudor court. So, like, this first one... They're all pieced sweaters versus in the round, which, if you're a crafter, you know. Pieced means that you do front, back, sleeve, slat, and then you seam everything together instead of just knitting it as a tube or crocheting it as a tube. These are knit. Like, I love the Elizabeth of York vest. I believe it's a lightweight yarn though. Well, it just tells me 2-ply. They would make me do research. Ugh. Now, there's several lovely patterns in here that I'm just not that sure that I have the brain power anymore to make. Or, honestly, I've gained quite a bit of weight since I first started knitting, and I'm not sure that some of these would be flattering anymore. But some of these are just absolutely gorgeous. So this is kind of like my show book where I dream about making these, but I probably won't ever do so. This was a gift from the same friend who got me the donut book. She just randomly spoils me sometimes, which is so sweet of her. This is the Knitting Peter Rabbit, and I feel like I wanted to show it, or I did show it on a different video. I need to make this one. Hold on. Tom Kitten. He's so cute. But I really wanted to make... There's several on here that I really want to make. And they have the Beatrix Potter drawings in there. So much fun. Here's Flopsy. Now, I'm pretty sure this is all lightweight yarn. Now, she has like a felt... felt, shawl. Like, all of them except for... Well, Benjamin Bunny has his floppy hat that's knit. First I thought it was felted too, but it's not. But I want to say that only the... Well, first of all, the Squirrel Nutkin doesn't have clothes. So, Squirrel Nutkin, no clothes. I'm actually surprised they still have his tail. I could probably not do the tail if I felt like it, because I'm pretty sure he loses his tail by the end. If I remember correctly. But the one I was looking for is... There she goes. Jemima Puddle Duck. Because everything about her is knit. The shawl, the bonnet, her... And she's really lovely, too. So, she would probably be the one to start with. But, honestly, this is just a lovely book. This would have to be when I'd have some brain power. Just because I'm pretty sure it's all really lightweight yarn. And there's quite a bit of shaping. This isn't... Oh, they're flat. That's good to know. There's a whole section about how to make them up. And how to make their clothes. So, really beautiful book. Then this one here, Fellowship of the Knits, the unofficial Lord of the Rings knitting book. I think the same friend got this one for me too. Did she? She either did this one or the next one I'm going to show. Okay, I'm not sure if I picked this one up myself or she picked it up for me. I don't see... Oh, yes. Here we go. Yes, this was a gift. So, I thought it was. So, things like the dwarf helmet for, you know, a winter hat. Oh, it has number of rings for difficulty level. Let's see. I want to show one more. Maybe two more, because this... I do want to make maybe at some point the Elven royalty cloak. These are all knit, I'm pretty sure. There's some beautiful designs that I won't... Oh, these are fingerless mitts. Then I might make these. Horse banner fingerless mitts for Rohan. Look at that. The color work on that. And the color work hat. Noble maiden hat. Beautiful. So, absolutely, whoa, what was that? What was that? Come back here. Where are you? You shall not pass. Oh, no, that's terrible. Okay, I don't like the shape of it, but that's striking. It's kind of a bat wing shape, though, and that's just not the most comfortable shape for me. It is stunning, though. Okay, I've always wanted... This is something called double knitting. Pretty sure this is double knitting. Yeah, this is double knitting. So basically, you have a pattern on the front and the back for the color work. You don't have the ends that you'll see. Like, okay, if you have a sweater with some color across here, you know, like that old... Well, you think of kind of like Nordic sweaters, and you turn it inside out, you'll see all the stranding, which is all the yarn that they were working through the color work. You'll see it stranded across the back. And I did not bring an example of my stranded work. I'm probably going to do a second video for my next section. So that will probably... I'll grab some stranded work then. But yes, this is a beautiful book with... I've not actually made anything from here yet. I have plans, but we'll see if life allows. Then the Best Jane Austenites. Okay, I think I got this one for myself. Okay, I don't see any notes inside, so I'm pretty sure I got this one for myself. There's at least one or two things in here I think Davina wanted me to make for her. And she reminded me of it the other day. I do like the book cover. Unfortunately, I will never make a book cover like this because I like the actual book covers that exist a lot of times. But Southerton is beautiful. There's one point in my life where I would have been able to get away with wearing that. Then this really cute sweetheart bag, the color work. The Lady Russell shawl is rather nice. Little high up for me, though. I like a nice big wrappy shawl. I'm not sure how big the Marianne Dashwood is. Well, you're not going to show me the... Oh, it's a... That's because that's not actually the shawl. Okay. The Sensible shawl. Ooh, I might make this. This, it's all garter stitch. So for knitters, you know that's like the simplest thing ever to do. Wait. Okay, not who I was thinking. At first I thought it was someone I knew. And look, it ties in the back. That is so cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to make that. Yeah, nothing to mark with. Okay, I will do that when I get up to get the other thing for the, what's going to have to be a part 2. So I think that's most of what I'm going to show. A really cute cottage tea cozy. But yeah, there's a lot of Jane Austen books like this out there, though. All right, I think that's more than what people actually want to see. I'm going to stop this, and because apparently I have no self-control, there will be a second one because, yes. No, I might as well just finish that, but I'm not going to get the... I'll do my ending. I'll leave enough of a pause. If I want to, I can edit this out. And if I continue, you'll know that I just decided to make a longer video. So thank you very much for joining me. Hope that you enjoyed this part 1 of the... What'd she call it? Crafting on your bookshelf, or I think that's what she called it. Hope that you enjoyed that. And if I'm doing this end now, that means I intended to do part 2. So thank you very much for joining me. I will see you for that. God bless. Bye.
Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea. Reading always feels so free.